Hello everyone, I must apologise, we are very late with the action. We had issues with the ILR Twitch account, couldn't log in, but we are here on my Twitch account, so thankfully we will catch the full race coming ahead. We are at the conclusion of qualifying, almost. It's VSR and Famous on top as things stand, but there are other cars out there on the racetrack. As you can see, we now have a full track map available to us, and we have Pinecone out there going quickly as things stand, pushing the limits of his Mercedes right up towards the barrier. A couple of corners to go. Can he take that pole position away from VSR and Famous? 133.0 to beat Pinecone. No, he will not. He's backed out of that one, and that is all you will see, folks, I'm afraid, of qualifying. That was VSR and Famous going quickest of all. Pinecone, the only lap we saw there, second position for CRG Pinecone in the end in this 12-car field. So that is the end of qualifying. We didn't get to see much of it, and I must apologise once again to our viewers. Hold on a minute. We might be... Okay folks, just a quick discussion there about whether we were going to move over onto the ILR account. Jack Gooding has scrambled to the PC to try and revive the ILR account. It's just a login issue that, you know, we've seen the last couple of weeks where he's had to go through an extra level of security to log in. We initially thought it was an issue with me getting the password wrong in the first week. I didn't get the password wrong this week, and the issue cropped up again. Must apologise for that. Next season when it kicks in, we will not have any more problems like that. So we've decided it's too close to the beginning of the race to go on and change accounts. So we'll stick with this stream for the formation lap and the duration of the Grand Prix. So we're going to be going live on this account as we are now for the entirety of this qualifying. Well, qualifying's gone for the entirety of this race. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Well, a couple of talking points going into this final race of the season, and you know, it all stems mainly from the patch. So, you know, ILR, they did a lot of league racing on Thursday night, and I was speaking to a few people, and they told me that safety car chances are very high. They're a lot higher than they've been in any other game when it's been won. Expect safety cars today. That's something I would not be surprised to have, even with only 12 drivers. I think a couple of races might even have had a full 4 safety cars in their races. So don't be surprised today, folks, if we do end up with some safety cars or virtual safety cars. That's one of the new additions to the patch. One of the other additions, and you can see it on the right hand side of your screen there, that is the track map, which of course is showing a full course green at the minute, and the 12 cars running down the track. That helps us viewers, it helps us commentators as well, especially really when there's, you know, hot laps going on in qualifying. It allows us to identify what cars are at what area of the racetrack. So that's probably the two big talking points from that sense. The safety cars, good chance of seeing them, and of course the new track map that we've got from Cody's. So some good work from them on that front. But we should focus on the race ahead. 28 laps ahead of the drivers. The final race of the ILR1 season here on Xbox. A lot of surprise, of course, wrapped up the championship long ago. VSR and Famous is going to start this one from pole position. CRG Pinecone alongside him on the grid. They're both on soft compound tyres. WORZ likewise on the soft compound, as is Overkills in 4th. CRL Rosberg, he starts from 5th on the softs as well. And then the first of the drivers on the medium, that's Sira, who without doubt has been the biggest challenge to Veloci Surprise this season. He's on the pad, of course, and he is starting this race on the medium tyre, so that's probably explaining why he's slightly out of position from his usual slot. Jason 97 F1 He is in 7th place with BRL João Pedro in 8th. 9th position VSR Drelex. BRL Bruno Will starts from 10th. ILR Brown 11th in the grid on the soft compound, starting on a fresh set he is, as is Feisty Ted in 12th. So a couple of drivers, ILR Brown and Feisty Ted, starting right down outside the top 10, obviously feeling with such a small field that they won't have much to go through, and that advantage of a softer tyre or a fresher tyre will help them. So let's see how it pans out for them, but let's just see how this rubber, in the sense that the season is at its end. There's not much to fight for now, so having the safety car on gives us an idea of what to expect for next season. We can always use it as a trial period, I suppose. So how will the safety car play up? Will we see any today? Let's find out. Can Famous get a win from pole position? We'll find out as the 5 red lights come on. The desert is about to see one last race. We're underway. What a start from VSR and Famous. Pinecone was away well off the grid, but he will not be able to get ahead of the Ferrari on the short run down to turn 1. And Famous will hold them all the way up through turns 1, 2 and 3, and then onwards and down the hill he will swoop. And Famous leads from Pinecone second, Zitten third, and Rosberg has gained a place off the start. He's up to 4th. Overkill's dropping down to 5th, so no point looking at the tyres now. Let's get those position changes up, and through the first sector Jason's made one up, and as we've mentioned, as a CRL Rosberg. Further down the order we've got a change of position. That is BRL João Pedro regaining the place he initially lost from Drelex. So a couple of moves there. What about up for 3rd and 4th place? CRL Rosberg looking quite interested in a move on Zet, and he's going down the inside at CRL Rosberg. Has he got the move done? No, he does not. WR6 carvers it off and maintains that 3rd place, but his exit is really compromised, and now CRL Rosberg is tucked right up behind him. He's going to be forced to the outside. Zet covers the inside, and he will maintain that line. He'll maintain that place. Rosberg throws it out, and he stays in 4th. He's gained 1 place off the start. CRL Rosberg always likes to gain places, and he's gained 1, not quite 2 on this occasion, as Pimena Brown, unseen by us, has found a way past Drelex as well. So, big move there for Pimena Brown, already cutting through the field on those fresher tyres. 2 places gained already from that man at the start of this race on the opening lap. So, good stuff there from Pimena Brown as we get that lovely shot from the hotel. Fantastic area to watch the cars underneath there. You get some good shots down there, and of course, as Overkills picks up a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings for Overkills in 5th position, so that's not a good start to his race. It's in Famous, Zet, Rosberg, Overkills and Jason, but Sira off the start has lost a place, and that's not a good start to his Grand Prix. We've got a yellow flag, unsure of where that is at the moment. I'm looking at the screen, it's not really showing me. Sector 1 and 2 then, not too sure what's happened. It's Zet in fact who's had an off, didn't see that one, so Zet has been off the racetrack, had a moment, perhaps went for a spin and dropped all the way to the back of the field. So a big error there for WRZ, who just cannot get a good result. So not going well for him, as Pinecone continues to hassle and harry VSR and Famous. Rosberg now getting that move done, up into 3rd place now after Zet's spin. And then it is Jason and Overkills following in behind that. Position changes flying everywhere on my screen at the moment. Hopefully that will stop so I can see the gaps, but nope, looks like we might be left with that. Let's try and turn off the entire HUD and see if that would stop. How do we turn the HUD off? Yeah, come on, go away. Nope. Okay, we're going to be stuck with that. Fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. Brilliant, great. How the UI? Is that going to bring it back? Please bring it back. Come on. Oh, that might have helped. Come on, give me the gaps. Come on. Well, that's broken. Brilliant. Now we're going to have to just guess the gaps and try and pick up the best battle just by pure guessing. Thankfully, the track map is there, and that will sort of give us a helping hand. But the crucial fact is, on lap 3 out of 28, VSR and Famous has a 1.1 second lead over CRG Pinecone, with Sarah Rosberg in 3rd position. So he's broken the DRS. Big moment that in the Grand Prix for VSR and Famous on lap 3 out of 28. He's broken the DRS, he's finding that pace, finding that rhythm, and he's through. And thankfully, the gaps have now sorted themselves out, and we can shuffle down the order. Looking pretty clear that the top 2 are untouched, but it's all about this particular battle. Overkills right behind CRL Rosberg. Overkills picking up that time penalty very early on. Is he gaining in Rosberg? He is, but he's not gaining close enough. And it will be Rosberg holding that ground in 3rd, and Overkills in fourth. Jason 97 F1 is fifth, but he's got Sierra right behind him. And Sierra, who started this race in sixth, lost a place at the start. He's now got it back, and now he's attacking Jason down the inside into the braking zone. It's a tidy move there from Sierra. Had to get it done, had to be brave. He was brave, and the Brazilian breezes past Jason and takes that fifth place away. Lovely stuff there from the man who's heading for second place in the championship. Jesus Sierra moving up to fifth. A nice move there on the medium compound of tyre. So he'll be trying to bring himself into play later on in this Grand Prix, no doubt about that. So Sierra fifth, Jason sixth, P1R Brown in seventh. And he's right behind Jason now, and he, of course, as he picks up a 3-second time penalty, not ideal at all for P1R Brown. But remember, P1R Brown started this race on fresh tyres. The only other man that did that was Feisty Ted, who is quite far off the back of Zet, who's had a moment himself. So I can only presume Feisty Ted has also had a bit of an off somewhere. In fact, he's been in the pits as Feisty Ted at some point. So Ted been in the pits as, wow. P1R Brown taking an awful lot of curb there, bouncing right over the rumble strips. Car taking off, but it's really starting to close up now behind CRL Rosberg. A queue of cars behind the man in third place. And let's get an outboard shot of that. Rosberg third, Overkill's fourth, Jesus Sierra in fifth. And here comes Overkills now. He's having a look up the inside of Rosberg. Is he going to be through? Not quite. Rosberg covering the inside, and Overkills is unable to find it away up into that third place. And good defensive driving there from Rosberg. He's been defending really well so far, but now Overkills and Sierra are right there. Let's go on board with Sierra as we can watch the front two ahead of him jostle, and Overkills with the overspeed gets ahead of Rosberg, outbreaks him, sweeps around the outside and takes that third place away. I think we're going to see quite on during this Grand Prix. So Overkills third, Rosberg fourth, Sierra now in fifth, and right there ready to pounce on anything going on. And Famous has a 2.5 second lead. He's showing some very strong pace out front. Pinecone second, quite a distance ahead of this gap, this battle of Overkills, Rosberg, Sierra, and then the soon to be approaching P1R Brown, who started right down the back, of course, on fresh tyres. So, you know, a couple of battles beginning to as they go across the line to start lap number 5, as we've got a driver in the pits, and that is CRL Rosberg and Pinecone and Infamous. So the leaders all in already. Infamous onto the medium, Rosberg going on to mediums too, as is Pinecone. So the Grand Prix have all come in. Well, Rosberg wasn't third, he was fourth, as Infamous makes his way back out onto the track, well ahead of Pinecone, as you'd expect. There was 2.5 seconds between them already, as Feisty Ted retires from the race. Will that bring out a safety car? The new rules on this game, the new patch, I should say. What will that bring? No sign of a safety car just yet, as Feisty Ted retires, as Sierra now lines up a move on Overkills. The gap was around 2.5 seconds between Infamous and Pinecone before the stops. It's now 2.8. It's gone up by a couple of tenths, nothing too serious, but Pinecone clearly not showing the same pace as Infamous does this afternoon. Rosberg 3 seconds off the back of them. He'll be hoping to jump ahead of Overkills, but speaking of jumping Overkills, Sierra's looking to do the same on these medium tyres. The pressure telling on Overkills. He locks up ever so slightly, and now Sierra's right there, gaining and gaining as they go through the single file section of racetrack past the marina on the right hand side. It's like the Middle Eastern Monaco, the glitz and the glamour of the hotel and the marina, as Sierra tries to get as close as he can for a move on Overkills. Or either of these guys, well, Sierra will be going long. Will Overkills pit now to try and cover off CRL Rosberg? Yes, he will. What will P1R Brown do? You'd imagine he'd continue, given he got fresh tyres at the start of this race for qualifying outside the top 10, and indeed he does. So Brown goes for another lap. Sierra now has clean air to work those medium tyres to the best of his ability. Brown will do likewise on fresher softs. Jason carries on in third, with João Pedro in fourth, and Bruno will in fifth. And Famous now will regain the position from Overkills. Where will Overkills rejoin though? That's the question. We need to look for Rosberg. There is Rosberg. Overkills is really going to be close. No, Rosberg's going to have him. Rosberg's going to have him easily as they come up the top of the hill. There's Overkills in the background, and Rosberg has gained a place, pitting one lap earlier. Is he over a second ahead? Yes, he is, 1.2, and that could also be key in this battle. We know how important it is to break DRS, and that's exactly. João Pedro are battling down at the hairpin, or the chicane, sorry. A little bit of lag there, but it appears João Pedro has found his way through. Jason now dropping to fourth on lap 6 out of 28. Is he going to be able to retaliate immediately? He's certainly got a good toe. Can he have a look? Will he have a look? No, he will not. And Jason stays in 4th, but Bruno now right there in 5th. Let's get a lovely helicopter shot then of the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi. One of the most expensive circuits ever built. Man-made island, the Yas Island. What a picturesque view that is of this wonderful racetrack. An absolute classic venue, fantastic. And great to see all the action on track. Cedar now 8/10 ahead of P1R Brown. He's pulling clear on those mediums, showing that they are the best tire to be on. We've got a car pulling into the pits there. Did I see P1R Brown coming in? Yes, I did see P1R Brown coming in. And he's making his way down pit lane now. And we're going to see where he's going to rejoin in amongst all of this. So P1R Brown makes his way into the pits. Puts on a set of the medium compound tyres. How far can he go? Can he make it to the end? We'll have to wait and see. As P1R Brown now makes his way back out onto the racetrack. Where is he going to be? He's going to be behind Overkills as well, I think. So Overkills, yeah. Wow, P1R Brown, fresher tyres. Still well behind these guys. 2.2 behind them, but Overkills really got the bit between his teeth now and is gained right up to the back of CRL Rosberg. So, here we go. Overkills getting closer and closer to CRL Rosberg. Is he going to go for the move now? He should surely go for it. He's going to go down the inside. Rosberg can defend all he wants, but the straight line speed will tell the difference, and the DRS, and through goes Overkills up into 7th place. Rosberg demoted to 8th, and that will be that one. Further up the road, Jason and Bruno Will have been battling further, and Bruno Will now has got himself ahead. About Cedar now up front. He's really trying to pull away and make this medium tyre to start the race work. He really wants to make it work. Can he make it work? We'll find out. He'll be going very long into this race, perhaps as late as lap 20. We'll have to wait and see. Cedar in clean air, trying to make it work. It's all about getting it right in this stint and giving himself less work in the final stint. What will Cedar do? Let's see how quick he goes. Jason's in there battling. Let's go down to Rosberg though, chasing Overkills. This is the best battle to watch on the racetrack, without doubt at the moment. As Overkills picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's his second. They're mounting up for him. P1R Brown not too far away in the background here, so we'll switch to the middle car as Zit now gathers a 3-second time penalty. Things not going well after that 3rd place grid start. So Zit having a poor afternoon. Feisty Ted, of course, already retiring from this race. Let's see how it goes. Rosberg then dropping down 9/10 off the back of Overkills. He's not in a good sector at all, and P1R Brown now is closer to him than what Rosberg is to Overkills, so that is certainly going to get interesting. So P1R Brown 7/10. Jason 8/10 on the back of Bruno Will. This is probably the closest one on the racetrack right now. Must apologise, folks. I'm looking down at my phone a few times. Deadline day is in full swing, and Kilmarnock haven't signed a player for about, well, all window. So, you know, I'm having a little look there as well. Just as it's a dead rubber, and it's the final race of the season, I'm allowed to have a little look. Anyway, back to this. P1R Brown, CRL Rosberg, and VSR Overkills. Overkills now been work, hasn't he? So this is beginning to close up nicely, and it should produce a nice 3-car battle. Surely Shazoo Sira will be looking to get himself into this battle immediately, if not ahead of these guys. Depends how good his stint is on the mediums, and he'll also be hoping these guys battle like crazy, give him a better chance of either overtaking them or staying ahead of them as quickly as possible, because I've got a feeling Sira still wants a little bit more out of this race. Pinecone and Infamous, you know, they are pretty quick. They were quite far ahead of these guys, and you know, Pinecone's still 2.4 off the back of Infamous. So if Sira wants to win from here, it would take a special final stint and remainder of this first stint if he wants to go on and win this race. So you know, we can't discount Sira. We know his quality, but P1R Brown is now right behind CRL Rosberg, and he is going to be making the move. before Rosberg can get to overkills. It's going to be very close in the braking zone. They're touching, and Rosberg just about again is able to hold firm. But now the DRS will be open for P1 Brown. He's far too close, and this should be a breeze by. He's going to cruise through, up now into 8th place. Bye-bye Rosberg. Brown up another place and into P8 now. Next up on his radar, VSR overkills, and Brown looking pretty handy in that Williams. He's been looking quick all race long, and he really needs to set about passing overkills as soon as he can. The minimum I think Cena would want as Brown now locks up. That's going to give Rosberg a second chance, and they're going to go through and underneath the bridge. Oh, side by side, what a terrible camera shot that is. Let's go back to it, and Rosberg has got himself back through. Well, 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 if that was real life and you were standing up on that bridge, you had some view. I can confirm, folks, it's actually a bar up there. I've stood inside it, it's a bar. So, you know, if you're sitting there having a pint, that'd be a great position to watch some of the action. As Jason now pits, as Rosberg goes side by side with Brown underneath the tunnel, or the bridge, of the Yas Island Hotel. Beautiful stuff. Rosberg back through, pouncing on the error, as Jason makes his way out of the pits and rejoins right at the back in P11. Jason back out onto the circuit, as you can see, and Dralex has crashed big time there. You can see it on the left hand side of your screen, and it has led to the deployment of the virtual safety car, and all 10 drivers on the racetrack at the moment are, as you can see on the mini map, nowhere near the pit lane. So I don't think anybody is going to get any advantage from this virtual safety car period. I don't think so anyway. I think this virtual safety car period should end before Cena gets to the pits, or João Pedro or Bruno or anybody gets anywhere near that pit lane, and I don't think it would be in their best interest to pit right now unless it were going on to hard compound tyres. So, you know, we'll see if the virtual safety car does stay out long enough for them to pit and go for hards, but I really don't think that will be the case. They are, mind you, they are in the final sector. Let's keep an eye on that virtual safety car. Is it going to be ending anytime soon? Yep, there you go, it's ending. And absolutely no one gained an advantage from that, and we like to see that. We do not like to see people gain advantage from the VSC, and Cena actually is coming in anyway, and he is going for the hard compound tyre, so he obviously doesn't believe medium to soft is the way to go. Cena putting on a set of the hard compound, and does that tell me that everyone else behind him is going for a two-stop? Is that what that means? Interesting. So, moving out of the pitch is Shazoo Sira, and going back down the pit lane, one stop onto the hard compound. João Pedro doing the same. What will this lead to next? Coming out the pit lane, Shazoo Sira onto the racetrack, and now we will see the chase. He's 3.8 behind P1 Brown, who's right on the tail of Rosberg, and then 2.6 to the cars in front, but it's all about whether these guys are pitting again. I can only assume they are. P1 Brown then, behind CRL Rosberg. Is he going to go for a move? How behind Infamous? We'll need to go to that in a minute. He's very close down the back straight. Let's have a look at it. Infamous has had a mistake somewhere on the racetrack, and it's allowed Pinecone to get right behind him. And now the battle for the lead is on. Ferrari versus Mercedes. Pinecone has reeled Infamous in. Either that or Infamous has made a bit of an error somewhere on the racetrack. And now on lap 11 out of 28, Pinecone is right there and is waiting to pounce. Well, well, well. Things really starting to get interesting here. Pinecone right behind Infamous, 6/10 between them, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, dearie me, Pinecone. Not good timing for that at all. Not good timing, as Bruno Well now pits, the final man to make a pit stop in this Grand Prix. Bruno Well, he's came into the pits, and that should be that. So then, Pinecone, is he going to be close enough this time? We've got a lot of action going on in the pit exit here, I think, potentially. Jason against Bruno Well. Jason ahead, back to the leaders. And Pinecone, as you can see, really determined to get close enough to make a move, but Infamous just breaking the toe wherever he can. The fact that that is now below a second, and he's lost the buffer he had, that's going to make things very difficult for Infamous to break clear. we speak about it so often on this game. Braking the DRS is extremely difficult. Braking the slipstream is extremely difficult. And for Infamous, it's going to be so hard. I think it's almost impossible, really. I think it's going to be almost impossible. Lap 12 out of 28. Where do we see this one going, folks? Infamous, or Pinecone, or perhaps even Sierra, who looks like he's trying some sort of one-stop strategy. Going to the end on the hard. It's only 1.5 seconds off Sierra. Where could those two find themselves come the end of this Grand Prix? That's the big question we all want to know. But we're staying on board with the front two for now. Pinecone in the Mercedes, hassling and harrying PSR Infamous at the start of lap 13, almost half race distance in the final race of the season. And we're no clearer to knowing the result. It has been a tactical race so far. A couple of different strategies. So then, Pinecone. Is he close enough for a move in Infamous? 5 tenths between them. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening here. As he gets as close as he can. Infamous just tucking himself into that inside barrier, making it as difficult as he can for Pinecone to get that toe he wants and desires, and at the moment it's not happening for him. Jason and Zet have been battling, and Zet has lost out there to Jason. So Jason 97 F1 on those fresher tyres is through, up into 8th place. Well, WR Zet try and come straight back at him. Jason just covers the middle of the road, gives Zet a decision to make. He decides not to go anywhere and just stays put. It leads to absolutely nothing then in terms of a move. But the two leaders half a second apart. What about Sierra though? He's a man I really want to watch. He's on the prowl. He's charging down Rosberg and then P1R Brown on these hard compound tyres. Is he gaining on them now? Are those hard tyres quicker than those 8-lap-old mediums on Sierra Rosberg? Perhaps they are. And Sierra now threatening, as you can see on your screens, to get within that 1 second. Across the line they go. And we are at halfway race distance as Zip picks up another 3-second time penalty. Things not going to plan for him. 6 tenths still between the top two. Sierra trying everything he can behind Sierra Rosberg to get this move. We've got a yellow flag out there again in sector 1 and 2. Unsure why. I think we've got Zit in the wall again, or off again. We do have him off again. He's not having a good afternoon out there as WRZ, and he's off again. But here we go then. Sierra putting a move on the first of these cars, and is he going to get through? Yes, he is. Sierra now up into 5th position. We need to go to the front though. Infamous and Pinecone very, very close, but Infamous again just has enough legs in his car, enough horsepower, enough prancing horsepower to stay ahead of CRG Pinecone for now. Infamous from Pinecone overkills Brown and Sierra. Rosberg then tucked right up behind him. Is there any way he can find a way back through on Sierra? It doesn't look likely now. Those tyres are fading, and it's all about whether Sierra can get onto the next man. P1R Brown, 2.3 seconds up the road is P1R Brown. Or 3 seconds up the road, sorry, for Shazoo Sierra. As Pinecone now drops to 8 tenths. Big opportunity. Oh, and Overkills picks up another 3-second time penalty. They're mounting for him. Big opportunity presenting itself for Infamous to try and break above a second. He has done that now, but I think it was after the DRS detection. It is after the DRS detection. And all that hard work from Infamous to break clear is going to be undone, because watch this gap come down. Straight down to 9 tenths. Into the pits has come Zit, by the way, on the HUD on the left-hand side. And Pinecone gets a little bit restless on the curb there, and he might lose a little more time. He does lose a couple of tenths, but this DRS will save him and get him back to within half a second roughly. Can Infamous try to work his magic again in that final sector? Let's see. If he can, it might put Pinecone under that little bit more pressure. So important to try and break this. And Famous then and Pinecone making their way into the pit lane on lap 15 out of 28. Oh, look at that, so close between them, and that now means that Cera is going to be in the lead of this race at some point when Overkills and Brown decide to pit, which could be a 3 laps away, as Cera now picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Look how close this is in the pit lane. It's going to be Infamous ahead, Pinecone behind. Look how close they are going down the pit lane. There's Cera flying past them. The chase is on, 12 to go. And Infamous and Pinecone reel in Cera and snatch the win away. Overkill's yet to stop, of course. You'll expect him in at some point. Is there going to be any traffic for these two? Jason's behind them, just about. Yeah, he is. Making their way down the hill. Pinecone and Infamous can begin the chase, and it's time I change this gap to the leader. So, Infamous and Pinecone are 9.4 off the back of Overkills, which means they're 4.5 roughly to 5 seconds off the back of Cera. Surely in 12 laps they'll be able to reel that in. Surely these two are the favourites for the victory here. Surely that's asking too much of Cera. But here comes Pinecone. He smells blood. He's going for the move. Pinecone in the Mercedes. Dialing up the inside of Infamous. Look at that wheel-to-wheel stuff between them. Ferrari versus Mercedes. The two mighty manufacturers of Formula One battling down the back straight. Has Pinecone finally side by side they go into the chicane? Is it Mercedes? Is it the prancing horse? The prancing horse holds on. Great defending there. Great determination from VSR Infamous, and he holds on to the net lead of this Grand Prix with Pinecone snipping at his heels. Goodness me, that was close. And this will be delightful news for Cera, who's on the one-stop strategy on the hards further up the road, hoping and praying. They keep scratching and battling away like a pair of cats out in the back garden. Absolutely brilliant for Cera this. How long will it continue though? Because Pinecone has the bit between his teeth. Overkills now pits. That gives Cera the net lead of the race, or for now anyway. It will be the net lead, of course. João Pedro will be net second. And as soon as Pinecone and Infamous go up to third and fourth, which they now are, we are going to the flag between the top four. But pressure medium tyres on Infamous and Pinecone. Will they, can they catch the top two? My best guess would be yes. Is João Pedro going to offer a stiff resistance for his Brazilian counterpart, Cera? Can he do that? He's going to have to try, that's for sure. But Infamous and Pinecone are too busy battling one another, and Pinecone's going for it again. Is he through this time? Infamous again trying everything he can to fend him off. It's not enough this time. Pinecone is through and up into third place. But now the DRS will switch hands once more. Now it's VSR Infamous with the DRS. Pinecone defends to the inside, but the overspeed, it's just too much. Surely he's through, and back round the outside, and back into third place. Yes, he is, and Pinecone's left frustrated once more. Heavy battling between these two, and the longer it continues, the longer it will assist the two in front of them, who are going to the end on a long stint on the hards. These two drivers are damaging their medium compound tyres. Will they be in a fit state to compete with the guys in front of them at the end? That's the question. Round the final corner they go. Infamous and Pinecone onto lap 18. We've got 10 to go, and this is getting very, very interesting. Let's go back to the gap, the interval gap. This is brilliant. The top four are pretty much all in your shot, and it's a split strategy. The top two on a one stop, on hards to the end, third and fourth on a two stop. They've made their second stops, and they're hunting down the front too, but they're battling each other. That's the problem. João Pedro looks like he's going to be easy meat here for Infamous and Pinecone. Are they both going to find a way through? The last thing Infamous wants to do is get caught on the wrong side of this man. He needs to go. Oh, that's a bad decision, surely. Getting put on the outside will give the opportunity to Pinecone. Don't get yourself hung out to dry like that in Famous. He's got away with it for now, but now Pinecone is right behind him. João Pedro defending, is he? And Famous gets the DRS, that's his saving grace. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he does not. He does not. And somehow it remains as they were between those three drivers. What a battle this is turning into. Absolutely incredible stuff here in the ILR1 season finale. The season might be going out with a whimper in some drivers' minds. Some of them might not be interested, but this is going to be a fantastic finish for the remaining 10 laps of this race. Cena leads by 2.4. João Pedro doing everything he can to hold these guys up for his fellow countrymen. Not intentionally, of course, but he's doing it nonetheless. And Famous and Pinecone have been battling one another. Are they wearing out their own tyres here? Are their own tyres going to be in a fit state to fight the leader at the end? Don't get me wrong, I think João Pedro's going to get swallowed up long before that. I think he's going to get swallowed up right now by this man. VSR and Famous as they make their way down the hill once again and into the chicane at the end of that first set. Pedro, oh, he's wide, is he? No, that's lag. Apologies, folks. João Pedro defending for his life. And Famous absolutely desperate to get through. He's got Pinecone right behind him. Will he make the same mistake again? He cannot get caught on the outside. He needs to get down the inside. And this time he is down the inside. He gives João Pedro the squeeze. João Pedro can do nothing. And Famous is through. João Pedro thinks about responding. He can't though. And VSR and Famous makes a vital move. And he's only got one man more to overtake, and that is the race leader, Jesus Serra. João Pedro now gets the DRS back in on Famous, and you know what? He's got a run. He's got a great run on these hard tyres. He's going straight back through, down the outside, and Famous gives him the squeeze, and that's a brilliant piece of defending. João Pedro couldn't make it through. Now Pinecone dies up the inside and gets it done on BRL João Pedro and keeps himself within touching distance of his main rival in this race, VSR and Famous, and he had to do it there, he had to do it then. He couldn't follow João Pedro for a full sector, because if he did do that, and Famous would have been more than a second up the road and probably gone, and gone for good. But Pinecone works tirelessly and works well to maintain that 1 second window, and now Serra is surely going to get gobbled up in the last 8 laps, but it's all about whether those medium tyre runners can keep their tyres all the way through this window. That's the big question. 20 laps gone. It has been topsy-turvy, it has to be said, in the strategy point of view. The light is beginning to fade. The natural light, that is. It's now looking like the floodlights are taking charge in the sun-setting finale to this Grand Prix this season. It's been some season to open up on F1 2019. We've got one more coming. Hope you guys enjoy it when it does come. Serra now has been reeled in quickly indeed. His fellow countryman has tried his absolute best, but as soon as he did get through on him, he's now been reeled in very, very, very quickly. Pinecone and Infamous reeling in the race leader, and I've got to say the odds are shortening on an Infamous or Pinecone victory, and they're lengthening on Serra. What is going to happen then in the remaining laps? Pinecone versus Infamous versus Serra on lap 21 out of 28 as they make their way up the hill. Who is going to come out on top? Surely those guys on the mediums, the tyres are going to be in good enough state to pass Serra and maintain it. Surely that's the case. But again, as we've mentioned already, you don't want to get caught on the wrong side, Infamous. Do not get hung out to dry, or Pinecone will be there to pounce. We go into this wonderful shot from Pinecone now to have a look, and Infamous is lining the move up. Is he going to be close enough? He is going to be close enough. Infamous is through. Now Pinecone tries as well. Is he going to follow him through? And Jesus Serra has been overtaken by both Infamous and Pinecone. Infamous takes the lead. Pinecone up to second. And now the top two will surely continue their jostle for victory to the flag. Sira has been beaten on the one stop, as has João Pedro, unless, of course, these front twos guys' tyres fall off the cliff, but I don't think it's going to happen, as Zet now retires from the race, and that is on the racetrack. Will that bring a safety car out? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Now then, what will this do to the strategy? Anyone in the pits here at the end of this lap to change the tyres? This is going to be very interesting. There's only 9 runners left, so if anyone fancies it, why not? Let's see then. Anyone thinking about it? Sira thinks about it, and Sira decides to do it. So Sira is throwing off those hard tyres. He's going for a set of soft compound. João Pedro doing the same. Jason doing the same. Fiona Brown thinking about it and deciding also he should do the same. And overkills, they're all pouring in, everyone except the top two. Rosberg carries on for one more. Bruno will pits. So Rosberg decides he wants track position and it will give him third place from 8th. Everyone else pouring in for fresh soft tyres to run to the end. Goodness me folks, the twists and turns in this Grand Prix. Where does it go from here? Six to go. Overkills. Has another time penalty. Well, we take stock, folks. As you can see, the top three then, medium tyres, they didn't want to surrender their track position. Well, Infamous and Pinecone didn't. Sierra Rosberg decided he was 8th in the field. I'll move up to the podium and try and defend that for 6 laps, or, well, it won't even be 6 full laps of racing speed. So, let's see how it goes for Rosberg. Everyone else into the pits for a fresh set of soft compound tyres. That's where we are. Let's have a look at the time penalty situation now. I think that's worth having a look at. VSR Infamous has 1 warning. CRG Pinecone has 1 penalty and has almost got another. Sierra Rosberg has a 5-second time penalty, which he may have served. Don't know if it was a penalty in the pits. We'll need to check that one out. Sierra, let's actually check that now for Sierra Rosberg. Was it a pit penalty? Where is the racing point car? Come on, show me it. Racing point, speeding in the pit lane, yes. So I imagine he will have served that. Sierra has a penalty. As you can see, Bruno, nothing. Jason, nothing, but close to a penalty. Fiona Brown with 2 penalties, not looking good there. Overkills, wow. Wow, right, okay, he's finishing last. Okay, they're not even any point in counting that. Bruno will, he's got 1 penalty. Zet is out of the race, so that is it, folks. That is it. So, Infamous, keep it on the island, don't make any mistakes, and he will probably be the favourite for the race. But Rosberg on mediums too. Sierra has a 3-second time penalty. He'll need to overtake these guys and then build a 3-second gap if he wants to beat Infamous. Surely, if Infamous just keeps it tidy, he should be okay. So then, 23 laps gone out of 28. VSR Infamous from Pinecone and Rosberg. Rosberg, of course, electing not to pit from this safety car period after being 8th in the field. The top two, you can understand their decision. They were in the first 2 places. They didn't want to surrender those places to Sierra, so they decided they should stay out. Sierra then saw them pit and decided himself to pit. As the safety car now is coming in this lap. 3-second time penalty. If he wants to win this race, will have to pass these 3 cars and then have a 3-second buffer to VSR Infamous to win it. That is a tall order, even on these fresh tyres. Let's see how it pans out then. for the final 5 laps of racing in the Inside Line Racing League season here on Xbox. This is going to be exciting. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be fun-filled. This is exactly how I hope to end the season. Here we go then. Infamous, about to drop the throttle. He drops it now, and the Ferrari driver gets us back underway in racing. Pinko right behind him in second. Rosberg third. Cena's going to be right there, ready to pounce as they come across the line to start. Lap 24 out of 28. We are green once again here in Abu Dhabi. The first safety car of the season, I think. And the patch has delivered a VSC and now one SC. As we get underway and racing up the hill, it's Infamous leading from Pinko, from Rosberg, and then Cena, who's already got the bit between his teeth, already using that fresh rubber, already going down the inside, and bumping alongside, and finding a way through as he, Rosberg gives him the squeeze, Rosberg then slides, oh no, Bruno Will's off, and it's João Pedro off, Bruno Will is okay actually, so it's João Pedro that's off, into the wall, and his race is run. Look at the slipstreaming going on down the straight here. We've got Cena re-overtaken now by Cena and Rosberg. Behind that, you've got Jason and Pimona Brown battling too. Let's go on board with Pimona Brown. Rosberg holds third place, Cena fourth, and then Jason holding on to fifth with Pimona Brown in sixth. Drama everywhere we look. Pinko still stuck behind the favourites. Look at Cena and Rosberg in front of us. Absolutely incredible stuff between those two. Almost putting the wall there with Cena by Rosberg. Cena now gets the job done. No, he doesn't. Contact between them, and it's led to absolute mayhem behind. Cars scampering over the runoff area. Everywhere you look. Cena down to 8th. Rosberg's got front wing damage. Up to 6th. Overkill's is 5th. And Pimona Brown is 4th, with Jason now up in 3rd. Goodness me, what is going on here? They're all miles behind the top 2 already. The top 2 have been giving a 3 run here. Absolute mayhem on this safety car restart. Is Pimona Brown going to fancy this? No, he's not. Not up the inside there. That would be suicidal. Look at this. These 4 cars all stuck to each other like glue as they cross the line for lap 25. Look at Overkill's right in there, trying everything he can as Rosberg now retires from the race. Surely not this late in the race we'll see a safety car. I don't think we will. He's in the pits as well, so I doubt it. And into the pits has come João Pedro as well. And look at Pimona Brown dancing left and right, trying up the inside of Jason. He won't find a way through there. And it maintains the way they were. Overkill's now trying round the outside, cutting back to the inside. Look at Bruno Will now sneaking up the inside. We might only have 8 cars left, but boy oh boy, it's going to be some finale. Pinko still 5 tenths behind. I don't see him making a move there. It has to be honest. But look at them all passing each other down the straight. Now down the inside will go Pimona Brown on Jason. Is he through? No, Jason covers it off and holds his position. Overkill's right in there. Worthy to pounce. Let's go on board with him. In fact, no. Let's go on board with Bruno Will, who's going to have a fantastic view of all of this. Jason holding off Pimona Brown. Overkill's in there sniffing for a trim or two. Bruno watching on. He sticks his nose up the inside. Jason and Pimona Brown. Incredible stuff. And Jason holds on to that 3rd position with Brown in 4th and Overkill's 5th. Absolute mayhem here. This is like Formula 4 stuff. They've lost 3 seconds in 1 lap, and now Cena sneaks up the inside of his fellow countryman, and Brown and Jason still at it at the front of this little battle. Brown 3rd, Jason 4th, Overkill's in 5th. Whew. This is madness. Through the final couple of corners they go, and now Jason's under threat again, this time from his teammate. I think there's a Red Bull in there with front wing damage. Is it Jason? I think it might be. In that group. Hard to tell from that camera shot. Look at Cena though. Right in there, he'll be seething. Well, Cena. It was taking place after that spin. Oh, Overkill's had to back out behind Jason there. And Cena's now got to run. Not enough of a run, and he'll stay put. On lap 26 now, or 28. At this final race of the season, 7 tenths the gap at the front. I think that's enough for us to not watch it. Let's stick with this. The 2 Red Bulls fighting for 4th and 5th with Cena on a recovery drive after that spin with CRL Rosberg. Here we go then. Down the inside goes Overkill. He's completed the move on Jason, and now Cena will try and get the move done on 1, if not 2. He gets it on 1, through on Jason, who drops to 2nd, and Cena's now up to 5th. 4 tenths Pinko behind Infamous, but he's in the braking zone, so we'll stay away from it. Cena now, thinking about a move on overkills. He's got some straight line speed, he's got some overspeed, he's quick late on the brakes, so late, but he's going to somehow make the corner, and through he goes, up into 4th. Overkills down to 5th. And Bruno Will is 6th. Sorry, Jason's 6th, and Bruno Will's 7th. Finally, the battle begins to calm down ever so slightly. So then, Bruno v Jason. Are we going to see a move there? What about at the front? Because that is now close. That is now close. With 2 laps to go. Pinecone is going to have 1, possibly 2 more attempts at this. Maybe even 4. 57% battery, as is the car in front. They're both on similar battery levels. Can Infamous defend to the flag and win this race? That is the ultimate question. Oh, he's thinking about it, and they're both off, are they? No. Goodness me, that is lag of the highest order. You're playing games, and Pinecone is through. Up into the lead of the race, is he? Infamous now fighting back, side by side. They will go down towards the braking zone. Is Pinecone going to be able to come through this time? Infamous still holding the line and holds the lead. Well, I thought Pinecone had it there. Not quite, wasn't to be. Let's shuffle back briefly to overkills. No, they're through the chicane, so we'll go back to these two. We're about to start the final lap of this race, on the final race of the season. Infamous still holding firm. Pinecone right there, 3/10 off the back of him. Underneath the bridge they go. The floodlights now shining down on these two drivers. The spotlight is officially on them. 2 corners to go before we start the final lap. Overkills with another time penalty. Pinecone throwing the kitchen sink at VSR Infamous as we start the final lap of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The final lap of this ILR1 Xbox season. Are we going to see a final twist in the tail in the race for the checkered flag? I believe Pinecone is a penalty. I don't think Infamous does. But we all want to see a great battle on the racetrack. On this final lap, through that first sector we go. Now on through the hairpin and down the back straight. Pinecone trying to get a run, but Infamous got an absolutely galactic exit off of that corner, and he should hold his place into the braking zone. But Pinecone's coming. He's coming late, very late. Decides to go to the outside line, trying to dummy him. Oh, that would be some move that he can go right round the outside there. I do not believe that. That is fantastic from Pinecone. Absolutely majestic stuff. Round the outside, he now defends vigorously to the inside. Infamous will try absolutely everything to go down the outside. Side by side they go. But Pinecone's done it. He's done it. He's found a route through there and has taken the place, but should come to Infamous's rescue. Let's just see for 100% certainty that Infamous hasn't picked up a penalty in the closing laps. He has not. So regardless of that move from Pinecone, VSR Infamous will win the finale of this ILR race. It's been a fantastic final lap. We love to see a move like that. Pinecone trying to stamp his authority on the race despite the penalties. He wins on the racetrack, but the time penalties will mean that VSR Infamous in the Ferrari will close the season with the win here in ILR1. A fantastic drive from the Ferrari driver. He stuck it on pole and then went on to take the victory. Pinecone then second in the end after a great battle between the two, but the time penalty told. It's Shazoo Sira in third with P1 Brown fourth, and Jason 97 F1 in fifth. Bruno Will is sixth and Overkill seventh, and BRL João Pedro rounds it all off with P8. Well, that was an entertaining one. The safety cars throwing plenty of drama into the mix. And that is the end of the ILR1 season. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let's enjoy the final podium of the season. VSR Infamous. That man sticking it on top in the end. Good job from him. And he sprays the champagne on the top step of the ILR1 podium. Pinecone second, wasn't to be with the penalties, and third for Shazoo Sira at the end of this one. Fantastic stuff, great action on the circuit. That will round it all off for the season. Well, I'm going to have to give a Driver of the Day award. I'm going to give it to VSR and Famous for getting that victory today. Put it on pole position, looked very, very strong. The only driver lag in the end without picking up a time penalty, with the exception of VRL João Pedro, who made it home in 8th. So, yep, that's it. The final results of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The final results of the season. VSR and Famous takes the victory from CRG Pinecone in second, with Jesus Sira in third, despite that spin a few laps from home. Fiona Brown is fourth in a topsy-turvy race. Jason 97 F1 was fifth. BRL Bruno Will came home in sixth, with VSR Overkills in seventh. And BRL João Pedro was a final finisher in 8th. Rosberg's collision with Sira saw him retire. Zet was out long before that, bringing the safety car out. Drelix and Feisty Ted didn't last long at all in this final race of the season. Well, that is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I'm going to try now, folks, and get the guys in for interviews if I can get them in. Let's see if I can do that. Bear with me, folks. Don't know what the game's doing. It's not letting me. Okay, there we go. Well, it's been a good season, folks. Let's see if we can get some of the drivers in for interview. It would be great to hear from a few of the guys. Certainly something I'd like to hear from a few of them. So let's set about doing that now. So just bear with me, folks. Well, just bear with me, folks. I'm just going to try and get the drivers in, and we can get back underway with the podium interviews. Pinecone joining us. We'll hopefully get the rest of the guys in as soon as possible. And we're going to have a quick podium interview with the top 3 drivers. After closing out the final race of the ILR season, a lot of people followed the end of the game, but you know, we finished it with an exciting battle up the front in the end. Good to have Pinecone joining us. We'll wait for the other guys. Hopefully they'll join us as soon as possible. I know Sira always likes to join us. Hopefully we'll hear from Famous as well. There's Sira joining us. We'll give Famous a chance and see if he decides to join us as well. But yeah, fantastic into the season. The safety car, you know, has been talked about in the build-up with the new patch that we have, and of course, as I suspected, it did deliver us with a safety car and a virtual safety car. So yeah, that will be very interesting to see next season how that pans out. Will the league owners of the top tiers and the top leagues decide to go with the safety car? Will they not? Certainly one that we'll have to wait and see. Does it need tweaked? Perhaps it does. Perhaps it's coming out too often. That's something we'll wait and have to see on. And Famous, he's not seemed to join us so far. I'm not going to stall any further. Hopefully he joins us during the Pinecone interview. It'll be nice to hear from him. But let's start talking to Pinecone then. Pinecone, second today, final race of the ILR season. It has been a long season. I mean, I think the majority of people are happy to see the back of the season. You know, I think a lot of people want a break, but you finished it with a reasonable finish. Second place on the timing sheets, but you know, first on the racetrack. So you know, how do you sum that one up? What's your immediate reaction from that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's alright, I guess. Like, I mean, you say a long season. For me, not so much though, because I've only done a few races in ILR this season. But yeah, coming into this, I hadn't done too much practice, but I'd done enough. I was feeling relatively comfortable, but always track limits are just when you're not in that rhythm round here, track limits are the problem. And yeah, I found that out today. So I decided to go get a penalty, which was nice. But yeah, let's start with quali. My lap was all right. I bottled my last run, so I was left with my second run, which I think was a 30 later, and he put in a mad lap at the end there. I mean, 33 flat, it's quick, it's nothing insane, but to be able to do that, having set no bad laps so far, just be able to go and do that with nothing on the table is insane. So yeah, GG to him. It was a great lap. And then had no pace in the first stint. Don't know why. I never really do around here, but yeah, dropped about 3 seconds, and then traffic happened, caught back up. Safety car happened, and then yeah, that was kind of that. Of course, it came down to the last couple of laps. I was aggressive. I knew I wasn't going to win on track because I had a penalty. And during the safety car, I had a look, and he didn't have any. Well, he just had the one warning, so I knew I wasn't going to win on track. But you know, it's always fun to try and. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to win it in the end. But it's always fun to try and win it on track. So that's what I did. And yeah, it was a fun race. It was a fun battle those last couple of laps.
Yeah, it's not always. It's not always about winning. If you can have some fun out there, I suppose as well. But at the same time, you're applying pressure that might force him into a mistake too.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I suppose from that point of view. It's a win-win situation. You have fun, and it might result in the victory through that as well. But yeah, it certainly looked like a lot of fun out there. You were, after that first stint, you were certainly glued to Infamous from that moment on, and you guys were having a good jostle even before you guys were first and second. It seemed like you guys were fighting when Sira and João Pedro were just in front of you. So did you think? Or was it Bruno? Well, I think was it Bruno actually. I think it was Bruno actually. Was it? Was it the Haas?
I think
it was Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Bruno. So, were you ever concerned that you two guys battling behind might lead to Sira profiting from that because you guys maybe losing time, or did you always feel you'd reel him in?
Well, I knew when I came out the pits that we were fast enough in those opening laps that we would be able to catch up to the guys on the one stop. So I wasn't too worried about losing time through battling. I was more worried about just trying to get in front, so that because traffic is the thing that can, because if you're in a DRS trend, traffic's the thing that can disrupt that. Because if one car gets ahead of the traffic, the next car has to sit behind them for the entire last sector. You're already out of that DRS. So I really wanted to kind of get ahead and try and clear the traffic first, rather than having Infamous clear it and then me getting stuck behind. So that was what I was trying to do. But I realised quickly that actually what I need to do is just kind of sit there, let Infamous, make some sort of move on them and just try and follow him through, which is what I did. And yeah, managed to just stick to the back of him. And then, yeah, that was it really. So I thought I wanted to be in front, but in reality it was quite good with Infamous just doing all the work. I just, slip through. Happy days.
Yeah, well, it was great fun to watch out there. I'm pleased you guys gave me plenty of action to watch in the final race of the season. Certainly enjoyed watching it. First, what's your early opinion then on the safety cars, Pinecone? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too little? I mean, have you had enough experience so far, or is one race not enough to judge whether they're coming out too often?
Well, I've not really watched any other races since the patch, so I've only really got this to go off. But of course, I think it came out because Mark retired. Whatever, I'm not going to pronounce that name. Mark, you know the guy I'm on about. But whatever that is. Yeah. So from what I've seen so far, it is coming out for proper reasons. It's not just coming out when a car spins on the track. There is either a car in the wall or some debris on the racing line or something like that. So I think it's fair enough.
Okay, well I suppose time will tell on that one. Thanks for joining us and congratulations on second place. Let's go to our race winner, DSR Infamous, pole position and then the victory. I suppose the only thing you never managed to get was that on the racetrack victory, which had just been the cherry on top. But the bottom line is the victory and 25 points and a fantastic way to end the season.
Yeah, it would have been pretty much perfect if I managed to get on track, and I tried for 28 laps to do a huge lead and then managed to get caught up with, I think it was Bruno Will and João Pedro, and that just obliterated my lead to Pinecone. So he just sort of sat there behind me, saving his ERS the whole race, and yeah, just kind of let me do all the work. And then he had me on the last lap, but I was gonna sort of go too hard and get myself a penalty, so I thought may as well let him have it. I knew he had a penalty from early on, and I knew I'd won the race from early on, so let him have it on track this time.
So it was traffic then that caused you to lose that lead? Because I wasn't sure at the time. I'd cut away from the lead battle because there was a lot of midfield action. So traffic cost you that initial lead. So what was going through your mind at that point? You know how difficult it is to build a gap. I mean, you see Pinecone struggling in that first stint. When you have a gap like that, usually that's game, set and match, isn't it? It's difficult to reel somebody back in. But when somebody's there, they're there for the duration, as you said. So, you know, it must have been difficult mentally to recover from that and then push on and ensure you got that win.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating because you have people on different strategies and they have nothing to gain from battling me. But they did, and you know, it's for position, so fair play. They're more than entitled to do it. But yeah, it went from like 2.5 seconds to nothing within a couple of laps. So just to see, you know, my hard work disappear like that was tough. But I did have a psychological advantage on Pinecone, knowing he had a penalty and I was driving pretty well, so I knew I wasn't going to pick one up myself. So I just had to keep it clean to the end and just not do anything silly, pretty much. Have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you showed some really strong pace today. Is it a track you enjoy, or are you going against the trend on this game? A lot of people losing interest. We've seen that in league numbers. Are you feeling really good about yourself? Are you looking to push on from this moment on, and especially with esports, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I want to push on. I can't lie, it's not my favourite F1 game. I suffered for it for whatever reason, for all sorts of reasons probably. But yeah, I need to keep my hand in it, stay ready for the pro draft and stuff like that. So yeah, I won't be going anywhere from these leagues anytime soon.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. Congratulations on the victory. It's a good building block for the new season when it does come around again. Congratulations, fantastic result. Let's move on to Shazoo Serra, the man from Brazil, João Pedro do Brasil, or Gabriel Pedro do Brasil, not João Pedro, Gabriel Pedro do Brasil. Serra, congratulations on third place. Where do we start with that one? That was topsy-turvy, it was frustrating. 1 minute you were out of it early on because you were too far back, maybe to really compete. Then you were back in it when you did the one stop and you had something to hold on to. And then you pitted and were right behind the guys, ready to pounce, and then you ran into contact, and then somehow still in the remaining laps, got back onto the podium. Crazy race, busy race for you, Gabriel Pedro. Talk us through it.
Well, actually it was quite frustrating because my main strategy was just one stop and I was just betting for Infamous and Pinecone, just battle too hard and then just lose pace so I could try to make something in the final laps of the race, despite I have a slower tire. And with the safety car, I just saw the advantage and a chance to win the race together with João Pedro. Maybe we just get the 1 or 2 we always wished. But in the restart, just tried to get past David and he just pushed me outside the track and then he chicaned and started sector 2. Made me just do a legal overtake and then I just gave the position back and try again. And I just decided to be aggressive because I just got sick of people just be aggressive with me and don't respond in the same situation. I just got be taken out by not my fault through the entire season, not in this league and in other leagues as well, and just got sick and just responded aggressively as well. And unfortunately we had contact. I just got to overtake into entering the final sector and he spun myself. And I just trying to come back with wing damage to make the P4 or P3. Then unfortunately I just got the podium, but yeah, I actually just got sick after everything, just received contacts being taken out, just received contacts in a race, and nothing gets done about that, so I just tried to respond myself on the track because I really got frustrated and think about the whole situation in multiple league races that I just attended for the season and other leagues as well. So yeah, I'm just quite frustrated about this race because I had the chance to win and make 1-2 with João Pedro, but I'm just happy for the season in general because I just was the runner-up of the championship, just lost to the best in the world on Xbox, so yeah, it's quite happy to me. The objective complete, which was be better than last season, and the next one I'm gonna fight for the title, hopefully.
So you're right up for it. You're happy it's over because it's been a long season, but you're going to get some time off, some refreshing time, and try and work hard and come back even stronger next season. Is that your goals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make the same objective like I did last season. Just match my result, like be the runner-up or just be the champion. It's just my 2 objectives. And I'm just gonna compete in other leagues as well, just to keep in touch, because I want to spend more time racing on the game than just spend practicing. Because after just getting the limit of the game just makes a little bit boring to me. So I just want to practice a little hours before the race, then just go to race and have some fun, and hopefully a clean race, like I'm gonna say.
Okay, good stuff. Good to hear. One final thing I want to ask you on Sierra. I know you, as you mentioned, you've been racing in a lot of leagues. Since the patch has come out, have you done more than this race? Are you able to tell us anything about the safety car? Is it coming out too often, too little? What's your opinion on it?
Well, actually, I wasn't expecting the safety car. I mean, he came at the perfect time because it was just like 5 laps to go, and I had enough pace to overtake the 3 cars in front. I don't know how much it would take to the tires just to lose all the pace completely, but I just had sure that would be much faster than the 3 guys ahead. And maybe João Pedro will win the race if he just were able to overtake the guys with me, because I had a 3-second time penalty, and so I was just aiming to pass all the guys ahead and just pray for one to finish, because it was something that both of us was just needing. But in terms of safety car and the patch itself, I think the patch was good. It's just being realistic with the crashes and etc. The right time to enter in the track. And he did the right thing again, because Verstappen just crashed in a crucial point, which is the end of the sector 1, and probably he was on track then the safety car came out. So I like this patch, and he came out the perfect time in the race.
Okay, well, it's good to hear some positive feedback from the drivers on that one. Fingers crossed, as we learn a bit more about it, it maintains that. But yeah, it's been great to hear from you guys. Congratulations to the race winner, VSR and Famous. Congratulations to Pinecone, who's left us, and Sierra as well, completing the podium for the final race of the ILR season. I'm sure we'll hear more details in the future about ILR and where we go from here, about next season, if there is going to be a next season, etc, etc. Keep your eyes peeled, folks, if you're planning on signing up. I'm sure keep an eye on the ILR League Twitter, at ILR League. Keep an eye on the forums as well, which you'll find the link to on the Twitter account, because I'm sure information will be coming out soon about the brand new season. But that is it. This season is over. It's time to go for a little break, I think. Congratulations to Veloci Surprise, our champion. Congratulations to VSR and Famous on the victory today. That's all from me. That's all from the guys in the podium. Good night.